I have been a fan of the Planet of the Apes film series since I was a wee lad. I first saw them on TV because I was too young to see them in the theater, and I rented them on videotape from my local video store, and I just always loved them. So along decades later comes a documentary, brand new, just hit the streaming services within the last month or so, entitled Making Apes, I need to verify this, Making Apes, the Artist Who Changed Film from 2019. This is a documentary about the makeup artists who created the look and physical applications of the apes in the Planet of the Apes films. Now I'm talking about the real Planet of the Apes films. I'm talking about the Planet of the Apes series that went from like 68 to 75 or 74, and the TV series, not the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes and not the new CGI Planet of the Apes, which I actually think are quite good, the new films. This basically goes through the development of the script and the film getting launched, and these guys figuring out how do we make people look like apes but not make them people in gorilla suits. And what they came up with were facial applications that still allowed some movement and let the performances of the original actors shine through the rubber applications. And it was a long time before I ever saw Kim Hunter as anybody other than Zira, in my heart and on film. And Roddy McDowall too, I first really came to know as the chimp in Planet of the Apes movies. So this documentary talks to modern makeup artists and how they were influenced by and how they appreciate what came before them. Talks to fans of the film like comedian Dana Gould, who often will perform as Dr. Zaius, comedy routines. One of my favorite things on YouTube is Dana Gould as Dr. Zaius performing Mark Twain Tonight. Look it up. So this documentary goes through the whole series of films. It's a mini history of the films themselves, but it just focuses on the makeup aspect of it. And how, strangely for the Planet of the Apes series, it was a popular enough series to spawn a handful of films, but each film received a smaller budget than the one before it. So, how do you kind of make do with less money to do something that's in theory should be grander than what you did before? Making Apes gets into all of that. It is, again, if you're a fan of the movies, it's wonderful. If you're a fan of Hollywood makeup in general, practical makeup effects and special effects, it's very interesting on that level. And as somebody who has, watched a lot about the Planet of the Apes films, there was a documentary called Behind the Planet of the Apes that was an excellent making of for the series that came out when the films first hit DVD. Even after seeing that, Making Apes still showed me a lot of things I'd never seen before. In all the supplements of the DVDs and Blu-rays, this was still fresh material to me. So it's one of those things where if you've seen and read a lot about these films, there's still something new. There's still something you might not have seen before. Really interesting behind-the-scenes footage and photos, makeup tests, things like that. So if you're a fan of the Planet of the Apes series like I am, it's really worth checking out. I saw it on Amazon Prime, so if you're a subscriber to Amazon Prime, you don't have to pay anything extra for that, but I believe it's out on DVD and Blu-ray as well. Anyway, at any rate, 2019's Making Apes.